Welcome back, everybody, to our next edition of Afterburners. Today, we are incredibly lucky with the guest that we have. It is actually our last episode before Christmas of 2025. That being said, I have a Newman alum with me today, a Newman employee who is up there as one of the most passionate human beings about this place. We have Mr. Austin Schwartz with us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. For now. That'll change.
Yeah. I know I asked you if you do this, and you're like, yeah, man, you don't have to ask me. Let's go do something stupid. How are you feeling now that you're actually across from me at the table?
I think that less of being at the table, more of the 20 minutes that we chatted before this, the nerves have creeped up a little bit. But I'm still excited to do this. So,
gonna make it easy. I say easy. 10 questions, 10 wings. Anything that you're worried about? What's your fear level? 1 to 10, with 10 being, you're going to be running after this.
I think my fear level's at a 4, to be honest. Like, it's not very high. My question is, has anyone made it all the way to 10 that you've done this?
Everybody except for one.
Okay. Then
we've only had one that didn't make it.
That's my one goal, is to make it to 10. So.
And you can go back and watch any of our episodes that we've done before. I've done these with students, I've done these with employees, and we hit everywhere along the mark. We have some students that handle 10 no problem. We have some that stare into the camera as if they're looking into the abyss. What's your confidence level?
Confidence level? Yep. Well, now I feel challenged, so I'm going to hit 10 no matter what.
All right, that being said, you asked for lemonade.
I did.
Or almond milk, and I got you lemonade. You've got your water. We've got napkins. Trash can is right there.
So we're good to go.
You're good to go.
I've never done the lemonade trick before. I was researching when you asked me, and online it said if you get something with citrus because of the acidic levels, it'll help break down the spice. So I probably should have tested that.
Probably.
We're going in.
Now, Kenyon drank a whole carton of orange juice.
Okay.
So that can be your gauge here. We'll find out, right? So we're starting off. This is 1,400 Scoville units. This is below a mild wing.
Okay.
Ready?
What's this one called?
This is called Shaquanda's Hot Tropic.
Oh, it smells nice.
We'll see how you feel about the taste.
To be honest, it's kind of bland. It doesn't have a lot of flavor.
Yeah, no, it's mild. It's easy to work through. But that being said, starting off with question 1, you grew up around Wichita.
I did.
You've done your schooling here, collegiate, right?
Yep, that's where I went to high school. Well, kindergarten through high school.
Right. So what was your experience growing up around here all the way through graduation, high school graduation?
Gotcha. I don't know. I've always enjoyed being in Wichita. A lot of people that you spend time around with here, especially throughout high school, will say how they can't wait to get out of the city or they find it to be boring. Most of my life, I feel like, has been exciting. I don't know if I can credit that to the city, but like I've enjoyed my experience being here. And I mean, there's always stuff to do around here. People that say they can't find anything to do aren't looking.
I'm with you. We're going to get into how busy you were in college. Were you just as involved? Like, were you really involved in high school?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In high school, I was the same level of busy as I was when I got to college. It very much prepped me. Yeah. At collegiate, I'd get up at 5 in the morning. I'd go do weights before school, go through my whole school day. Then, if it was football season, I had football practice. If it was track, I had that. If it was off season, I still was in the weight room again, just constantly training all year round. And then, guys, it doesn't look like it. I've lost who I was. But, and then after that would be a theater production, theater rehearsal. So then I'd be getting home around 11 p.m. at night and still have to do homework.
Okay. Yeah, no, we're getting you involved in intramural sports knowing that.
Well, I'm not an athlete anymore. Those days are behind me.
Everybody says that. Everybody says they're not an athlete anymore, but you'll be fine. Ready for 2?
I'm ready for 2.
Ready for 2.
I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this one.
You're just going to toss them?
Yeah. Well, I'll keep this one. Maybe we got to backpedal at some point.
So this one, we make about we triple up at least.
Okay.
We've gone from 1,400 to 5,700 Scoville units. This is Seed Ranch Flavor Company's just winging it.
Okay. Kind of smells like a mild or a buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
That one's better. It has much more flavor.
It's got your buffalo flavor that you're talking about.
Yeah, it does. That one's pretty good. I would order that.
Okay, good to know. We're starting good. Sometimes people don't like 2. They get the 2 and they're like, this is going to be bad.
No, I'd order a plate of that. That's good.
So, funnily enough, you're not the first person I've interviewed that's a twin. That can make for growing up a little interesting.
It can.
I'm the youngest of 3 boys. We're all 4 years apart. I'm sure that was not, you and I had very different experiences growing up with siblings. Can you talk about, for better or for worse, what that experience is like, is having somebody that not only like you guys look alike, but you're always together? Like, was that your thing, or did you guys separate spaces and do separate things?
So a little bit of both. I almost touched my eyes. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
But it's funny that you said that, twins versus youngest of 3, because I have a twin, but he's the youngest sibling. Everyone knows dynamic that has sibling households. Brennan was always the youngest child, and but growing up, so we always did everything together, and kind of to the extent where it was forced for us to try and individualize. It was after preschool, our parents were like, they have to be in separate classrooms. So then it's literally all the way up until high school, me and Brennan never were in a class together.
Really?
Yeah, they made sure to keep us separate. At one point in 6th grade, one of our teachers noticed, he was like, "You're twins, you have to click." So then he intentionally went to the top and switched around my hours just so I could be with Brennan in a class for 2 months while we did like a creative project together. And then it got flipped back. But for the most part, it very much was try and separate them so that they become more individualistic. And I think the good elements of that are, it has made us capable of being on our own. But then still, like, even going into college and then on our own ended up taking our paths was very difficult for the 2 of us. We'd go back and forth from moments of feeling like we've betrayed or abandoned the other, but it's just because, at some point you grow up and your lives diverge a little bit. But we talk every day, we text every day, if not on the phone. Like, we're still very close. But there was a trek in college where me and him very much hit a collision point, and we weren't on good terms at all. And then, over the past couple years, we've been rekindling that until where we're at now is probably the best that we've been in our relationship. But I can say that he's my best friend. Having a twin's a built-in best friend for life. But yes, you talked about siblings in general, not just him. But I really focused on twins there. Our older brother Cole. We love you. I have 4 more siblings. I came from a split family, so they're my step siblings.
Got a handful.
For all intents and purposes, they're my actual siblings.
Right,
We
I got
were
you.
all raised together. So
Yeah, like growing up as a kid, my oldest brother, he was the biggest, the fastest, the strongest. He was my idol. But, just making things happen. Like, you get older and sometimes people separate and they come back, and just the relationships are sometimes different.
What's funny is traditionally it's the older siblings pick on the younger siblings. I mean, when you have 2 of them, it's immediate. Cole was the one that got picked on all the time. Me and Brendan, we had a team thing going since it was 2 instead of 1. So it was him that got the short end on that a lot of the time. But I'm close with all of my siblings, so like we don't have any trouble at this point. Family's very important in my life, so
It's a very different dynamic going the oldest picking on the youngest, and all of a sudden the youngest has backup immediately.
yeah, I'm calming.
Right. All right. So we're making another substantial leap.
All right.
5,700 to 18,000.
Gotcha. All right, these ones look hot.
Yeah. Our amazing wing saucer here. loaded up the bag a little bit.
He sure did. I called him out on it beforehand. I said, "You're loading those a little heavy."
And here's the thing: is this doesn't even the name of it doesn't even sound good. This is hot. This is the Hot Ones brand, pickled garlic siracha.
Oh, I don't like pickle.
That just sounds bad, but it's 18,000.
It kind of smells like Tabasco.
I get why you're. Let's just dig in.
Oh,
that pickled flavor, but it's also pickled garlic.
actually, that's better than I thought it would be.
Get out.
No, I actually kind of like this one.
Mm.
Actually, I even feel like the second one was hotter than this one. This one, it's not even cooking for me.
Congratulations.
Apparently, it's not popular, but I actually really enjoyed that one.
I just don't like pickled flavors like that, and garlic, like a strong garlic. That's not my.
What's strange is I hate pickle. I absolutely hate pickle, but that was kind of good. It does remind me of Tabasco, and I love putting Tabasco on hash browns, like at a breakfast.
Oh man. All right. So, as we kind of move on past high school, the search for colleges are always fascinating stories. Like everybody's got their own kind of twist on that story. What was your search experience like?
Yeah.
And what was it that for you it was like, I'm going the Newman U?
Yeah. I don't. Maybe mine's not as interesting, but so what it originally was I sent applications, kind of a little bit of everywhere, but not a ton of them. It was kind of like I didn't know what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. I didn't know anything about my life after high school. I very much was just living in the moment of high school. And so OU accepted me, K-State accepted me, and at the end, it was kind of, I'm either going to go to K-State or I'm going to go to King's College, New York. And I intentionally didn't bring it up because that's how out of pocket it was. It was just abruptly, I was like, that sounds cool. That place is like Hogwarts. Like it literally divides their students into different house sections. And then, that's the community you're in. And then part of me was like, maybe I do want to get out, explore something outside of Wichita. But then neither of those ended up going anywhere. I didn't commit to anything, and I started working at the yard store. Well, I had already been working there, but then I started full-time because school was out. And I just kept not thinking about the future, my parents were getting very concerned, but not wanting to bring it up to me because they didn't want to feel like they were pressuring or being too forceful. And eventually, it was a week before school started. My dad finally, no, it was my mom said, "What are you doing? Like, what are you going to do?" And then Brennan was already accepted at Newman. He had already gone through orientation tours and stuff, and I was like, well, I'm going to go with him. They were like, what? And I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to go to Newman with Brennan. We're going to share a dorm room. We'll have the college experience. We'll be on campus, and yeah, we're going to stick in it together. So then I went to Brendan, and I was like, hey, I need you to call up whoever you're supposed to talk to. Tell them, switch the dorm situation. You're bunking with your twin. And then my mom took me up to Newman, and I was like, I'm getting enrolled. Here's my stuff from high school. Am I good? And they were like, yeah, you'll get X scholarship. We can put you in the honors program. Would you be interested in that? And I was like, sure, why not? Throw me wherever. Like, do whatever you want. For me, it was very much just, I don't want to be separated from my brother.
Yep.
So then I just fully went in blindly. They were like, well, do you have any idea what you want to do? Absolutely not. Put me in the classes that are open, like whatever's available. They were like, honestly, not a lot's available at this point. School starts in 4 days. And I was like, I don't know. They said, acting's open. I was like, drop me there. That's fine. I did a little bit of that in high school. And then they were like, there's a choir. And I was like, sure, why not? What else? Just for real, put me wherever is open. I don't care. I'll make it work. So then they did, and I got my schedule and was like, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing. And I was just, for me, more than anything, stoked about being with Brennan and going to that new experience and venturing kind of into a new world for us together, especially since collegiate was K through 12. You know, most people would have feeder schools and you get shuffled a little bit, you bump into new people. And for us, it was the same people for our whole entire lives up to that point. So it was venturing into the unknown. And I didn't want to do that alone.
That's fascinating. For some, I mean, it being 1 week and then like just the dedication and the passion that you have for this place. Like you usually don't hear some of those stories. Like that's not exactly the normal story that you hear.
Yeah, most people who are so passionate would probably be like they've been looking at it for a while, and not just blindly. Sure. Do you want to see the No, I don't need to see the campus. We're cool. I'm sure it's great. Whatever.
Right. We're gonna jump. We're jumping on number 4 here. This one, I'm sure you're gonna say something about the color.
Yeah, it looks sickly. That's the best I could give that. But it makes it look like it's not going to be spicy.
This is Alchemy Peppers brand, Mango Serrano hops. 27,000 Scoville units, sir.
Mango.
Yeah, you say mango. And happily.
You don't get mango? Oh, you get the mango. Oh, not a good mango. I don't know what I'm getting. It's not good. Yeah, that one just does not taste good.
Oh, so you like those two?
These two
So
I
you're
like.
keeping the ones you like
Yeah.
on the... Okay, cool.
There we go. We're identifying.
Right. So we've alluded that you were busy. You know, you were busy in high school, and you were just as busy in college. A double major, theater and history.
Nope.
No?
I had majored in theater and English. I have a minor in history.
Oh, that's right. Minor in history.
Yep.
Theater and English, minor in history. I wrote that down. You were a member of the student government. You were on the school newspaper for a bit.
Yep.
You were co-captain of Sloppy Joe's, president of the theater club. Like you ended up being nominated as homecoming king. What are some of those nuggets of wisdom that you've learned about having that busy schedule and still being like successful? Like there's a lot of students that put a lot on their plate and then quickly start throwing things off the plate.
That always bothers me. I think the best way to find experiences is by experiencing them. People often look at things and decide, I don't want to do that without even doing it. And it's, how do you know you don't want to do that, right? And 2, making yourself busy and being involved, 1, that's keeps you always doing something. I don't like being sitting there going, what do I do with my time? What's next? Where am I? Right? Like I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
And especially early on, before I had really found myself become comfortable with life itself, is that would always create pocket opportunities for existential dread. And so part of originally forcing myself to be so busy was to avoid that and having to think about what's the future, what is life, what are we doing here, and consuming my time was part of that. And now I'm at a point where I know what I'm about, I know what I'm living for, and it's just I want to stay busy. I love interacting with people and getting to know people, to work with people. And when you are passionate about something, then it not only encourages other people to feel passion, but equally, can get them. Sometimes you're stuck on something that you don't really care about, but you have to do it just to do it. And if someone comes in and they're gung-ho rearing, then that kind of motivates you to get more into it and dig in to be more gung-ho rearing as well. And I don't know, I find that important. I think it's good to be involved on campus. Like you're paying for the experience, fully dive in and actually know that experience, especially while you're young, and because you don't have that forever. When you're 40 years old working a job, you don't have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to go check out the gaming club. There's not one.
Right.
There's no atmosphere for that. And so enjoy what's provided for you while it's being provided, because it gets to a point where you have to go out and do everything yourself.
I talk about that with a lot of our students that live out of state, or even other countries, saying, listen, what's the plan? Are you going back home? And they're usually like, yeah. And I said, you might want to learn to branch out now, because by the time you get back home, the friends you had back at home, their lives might have changed. So you're going to have to start all over, possibly. Yeah. So you might as well just get back into the realm of, I can go step out into the community without having to rely on somebody to invite me for the, waiting for an introduction. You can just go and do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just one of those skills that we've kind of lost a little bit, of the doing something just because we can.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I highly try to encourage all the students that come through my door, like, go and do that thing.
Yeah.
Go and try it at least. Give it a semester. If you don't like it after one, go find something else. Go try something new. But it's when people say, I'm too busy, I'm going to take this off my plate, I keep myself from saying, you're too busy, you want to know everything I did. But I want them, it's also, I'm going to say it, the up and coming generation with the transition of the world is becoming soft. They're becoming softer. They don't, and the point of life is to feel challenged. You're supposed to try and feel like you can accomplish something and then overcome it. And then, wow, the payoff, the feeling after you look back and do that. But it's a lot of young people these days run when they feel the challenge. They're like, I can't, that's too much pressure. I don't put that on me. I want to stay comfortable.
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. And it's, what are you ever going to accomplish staying comfortable your whole life?
I'm with you. I talk about comfort. It can be a very, very bad thing at times.
Yeah.
Easy enough. We're gonna start off. This is halfway.
Point?
This is halfway.
For a second, I forgot we're even doing wings.
we're at halfway, and this is kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, this is the interesting color one.
It kind of looks like 4.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And it's thicker. It's kind of chunky.
So this is called hook and arrow. This is another one of those food that I don't like the food. So when it's in the name, I'm like, I'm out. Yeah. Spicier sauerkraut and mustard. Oh. I'm good with mustard. Sauerkraut, I'm out.
I don't like mustard. I do sauerkraut, not like all the time, but like I'll eat it if it's provided. But
51,000 Scoville heat units, sir.
This one feels toasty, guys. It's another surprise one. That does not taste bad.
Really?
I don't know that I'd go out of my way for it, but if someone gave it to me, like, I'd eat it. If this is what's being served.
Give it a second.
I'll let it set. I'll let it linger. But the flavor's not terrible.
Usually it's, when you start getting into some of these sauces, it's not sometimes the immediate. Sometimes it's the, oh, there it is.
It's got to pop in.
Yep. So talking about theater, you were a part of a lot of theater productions. Just plays, musicals. You've done it as a student. Excuse me. You've even done it as an employee, correct?
Yeah.
What are some of those performances, whether it be a whole performance, whether it's a team, or what are some of the roles that you look back on with a lot of pride?
One of the ones I always jump back to is Van Helsing, when we did Dracula. And that was my 5th year as a student. But that role was, I felt actually challenged. Like, there was a lot to go into it. Not even talking like the line load and all the shit you got to do on stage. Stuff you got to do on stage. There you go. Cut that in there. Stitch. Do a little edit. But it was, which Van Helsing had the majority of lines in the show. Like once I entered for that, I think it was in scene 2 where I first get called in to show up, something weird's going on. Van Helsing's in, and he's stuck in. And a lot of it is exposition monologue, boom, 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 explaining to everyone what's going on. But the catch was that, Van Helsing was Dutch, and I'd never done a Dutch accent before. And so I had to learn a whole new accent for this character. And it's very similar to German in some ways, but it's also a different. And that I just felt very challenged in getting that role. I actually, because of Professor Manette is involved in an exchange program outside of Newman, he actually had someone from across the sea that spoke Dutch, and he brought him in, and I talked with him for a couple hours just to hear how he talks, his cadence, what he does with the vowels, and then so that's what I worked off of to try and get that dialect down. But then also, Van Helsing was an older gentleman, so then I also had to try and think about, how does he walk, how does he carry himself, what's he's been through, and figuring out how to ultimately carry and forge into that character. So that's one of the big roles that I look back and I'm very proud of. Another one is Harry Bright. That's just because that's the very first production I did here at Newman was Mamma Mia. And to just show up out of the blue and say, hey, I want to try and do this theater thing, and then not knowing anyone in a world of discomfort, coming out of the auditions, feeling good about it, and then getting told, hey, you're one of the main characters in your first college production was really wow. I wouldn't have guessed that. I thought it'd be ensemble, right? But so those are two big ones. As you said, I've done a lot, so I'm gonna try and not go down a rabbit hole of touching every one. But I've performed as 20 different characters at this point. At an emotional level, it'd be between 2. When I was Leicester in Mary Queen of Scots, or when I played King Belisar in Habima, which is an original piece that was written and directed by my brother Brendan. And those later on in my career, after Mark had taught about Stanislavski's method, I was like, I think that's my acting choice. And those two did mess me up for a little bit afterward. Those were they went through a lot of emotional trauma within the show. Within Habima, I pretty much lose my whole family. One of my kids is stolen, 2 die, and
sounds just like the story of Christmas. Oh my goodness!
I felt very empty after that show, like something was missing in my life. Ultimately, because in character, I lost my children. I went so deep and convinced myself that I actually had that ripped away from me. And so it was probably a month to get out of that funk. But so at an emotional level, the two of those were very, I look back and am proud of what I brought to the table there.
So I laugh because my senior year of college, I was in a play because I helped out my roommate. And
yes, you told me this story.
Yeah, Professor Manette and I always talked about the struggle because I'm method. That's what I've got. And when you play an angry role, kind of an abusive role, it's kind of what you get. And we talked all the time about turning it off, turning it on, and I was like, Mark, I don't have that switch. And what we ended up, my roommate and I, as we would discuss, we started laughing because, I have dream roles. There's 2 roles that I want to play, and they're both Jack Nicholson roles from The Shining and A Few Good Men. And it wasn't something that we ever thought about. It wasn't something that I sat down and been like, wow, I just love him as an actor. Mm-hmm. But it makes, just in kind of thinking about that, of roles that you'd like to play, is there a dream role? Or is there somebody that you would just love to be on stage with, or an acting partner, right?
Wow. That's what a good question that I wasn't prepared for. Dream role. I don't know how much I want to do it now, but there was a time where I really was like, I'd want to take a stab at the Joker. Like, I want to go psycho. And
we talking Heath Ledger, or are we like doing like Cesar Romero Joker?
No. It'd be my own Joker.
Your own sort of thing?
I'd bring my own thing to the table.
Yeah.
But just seeing and that would be the big challenge of how can I do it different? It's been done so many times at this point.
Yep.
And can I bring something new and received well?
Yep.
Sorry, Jared Leto. But acting across from someone, what would be cool? So this one might be surprising, but it's really based off of his recent stuff and where he's got now. Early on, it'd be terrible, but I think that John Cena's really started to come into his own as a performer. I think that he's fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
And especially passionate. Like he takes his stuff seriously. He seems like he'd be really fun to work with, and I wouldn't bring up wrestling with him once. I'm talking about as an actor. I don't care about those days. I'm like, I want to act with you. I think that would be pretty cool.
Perfect. Well, we're on the downhill slide now. We're at 6.
6. This one's yellow. This is very yellow.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I said, I think 4 I described as sickly. This one is sickly. This looks like something that Papa Nurgle would have put out.
Well, this is another Hot Ones brand sauce. This is Tropical Amarillo.
Okay, it's a good name.
Yeah,
We'll see
right.
on the flavor, but it sounds like it'd be good.
69,000 Scoville units, sir. This one kind of breaks some people in flavor and taste.
The flavor on the front is pretty good. It's a little sweet. And then on the back end, it's, what is in my mouth? Up front, it was really nice. If they could have found out how to capture that, it'd be a good wing. But this back end, I don't even know what it is.
The back end's going to be rough from here on out, just warning you.
Yeah, that aftertaste is kind of like garbage.
Well, we've talked about theater and, stage performances, musicals, little more, here's the box we got to stay in, kind of. We talked about you being co-captain of the Sloppy Joes, improv. Very very different method of performance.
Yeah.
Was that something that you just wanted to get into? Was like when you found out that this existed, was it like, I'm jumping into that? Or was it something that you kind of had to touch, put your foot in the water a little bit, try it and see how you liked it?
Yeah, I was never adverse to it. I first got into improv in high school. My senior year, we kind of started a group. I say we, I didn't start it. I just was like, I'll give it a shot. And it felt like just a fun time to mess around. Essentially I got in there and I was like, oh, it's just like the good old days. We're playing pretend on the playground, right? And I kind of never stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Me and my siblings till this day will randomly, when hanging out, just start doing some scene work, start putting on a character, and we'll just get going. But so then after that exposure in high school, I was like, that was a good time. Too bad it's over. And then, here there were auditions for Sloppy Joes, the improv team, and Brennan was like, I'm going to go do this thing. We should go do this thing. And surprisingly, I was the one that was like, I don't know, But
which so goes against what I know about you.
Which, since he went, I went. And then the second we got into the auditions, I was like, I'm in. I better make this team. I'm doing this thing. And love you, Jack Schaefer, but they intentionally, everyone was assigned to message someone that, hey, you made the team, and Jack was assigned me, and Jack was like, oh, I'll get to it later. I'll get to it later. I'll get to it later. Falls asleep. So Brendan gets a message, and was like, hey, you're on the team. We're so excited to have you. Don't say anything to your brother. And of course, he immediately said that he got it, and that said, don't say anything to your brother. So then for the next 2 hours, I'm constantly checking my phone. I'm starting to get a little, to be honest, I was starting to get mad during that time. And then finally the next morning, Jack reaches out to me just casually like, hey, you're on the improv team. And I was like, dude, what? But then I didn't even know him at the time, of course. At that point, it was still, I just knew Brennan, right? Like, I don't know anybody. That was like the first week of school was the auditions from the team. But yeah, so into it, fell in love with it, became the captain, led the team. I'm very passionate about improv. I'm on an improv troupe. I don't know if that's a build-up. I'll stop there. Give me a wink.
Well, no, funny thing, that was what I was going to kind of ask you about. Like, because it's so different, right? It's one of those things that, like, I grew up watching Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
And it's on TV, so I still think, oh, there's got to be some script in this, right? But to some degree, there's not. You see enough bloopers and behind-the-scenes stuff, and those guys can just riff. What are some of the misconceptions that you deal with, that you hear about, or you're in conversations with from people who aren't in improv?
Oh, okay. So I don't know. A lot of people, at least a lot of people I talked to, their exposure to improv was through the Family Guy episode where Peter, Joe and gang decide that they want to do an improv team. And then all you get in the episode is a improv game where they just sit around saying, I'm a banana, peel the banana,
Right.
peel. And then it's like, okay. And then the point of the episode is that Peter doesn't understand improv, so he does the same bit over and over again.
John Wayne, right?
At the first Thanksgiving, Pilgrims.
Yep.
And that's all he does. And it's received well, and the guys actually trying to improv aren't received well. So then the conception is that, oh, you just work a bit until you find it, and then it works and you do it. No, that would be, sketch comedy, where you're putting something together, or that's how stand-ups do it, is they work until they find something that lands, and then they go and, continue to do it. And improv is every single time brand new, on the fly. I've got nothing in my head. We're going to see where it goes and what I've got.
Yep. No, it's a struggle. I think of a lot of people I run into, no's a bad word.
Oh, no is an awful word.
No is an awful word.
You have to give and receive gifts. And that's like the huge thing. For me, that's the thing above all other things when it comes to scene work and putting a scene together. If someone is all of a sudden, this scene's beelining in a different direction you weren't anticipating, you roll with that beeline and you take what they just gave you and you make it work for whatever was happening in your head. Otherwise, you just created a collision. It's not entertaining for the audience, and you've just created a conflict, not within the scene, but with your partner. And you have to trust and work with your partner because that's your teammate, and that's how you're going to succeed in your craft, that sport.
100%.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm on Say What Improv. Shout out to the team. We perform at Vorshay's the third Saturday of every month. So please come check us out. We're funny.
All right, we're into the final. This is 7.
All right, number 7.
So we're final 4. Final 4 with the last one, but 7. Or no, this is the final. This is the first one of final 4. Here you go. This is Smokin' Ed's. The only word. Apricot. We've also hit 6 digits on Scoville heat units, so we're at 104,000.
Gotcha. Okay. I have a feeling there's not going to be much apricot.
That's disgusting.
I'm surprised there's a slight bit of apricot at the front, but this isn't good. You're right. surprisingly kind of bland after that. You first hit that flavor, and then it's just nothing.
Yeah, and this one's a very big slow burn. Like this is a horrible setup sauce for the next one. But we'll get to that.
Gotcha. We'll see. Am I disappointing? I feel like I'm not.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Spices.
Don't worry. You're not. You're fine.
Oh, it's so bad. Help me. Good. Take that take.
No, we're good. We're good. I have to say, I was lucky enough that I got to be at your wedding. That's always an honor when you have somebody that it's like I knew your wife, Rebecca. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like we spent a lot of time together, but I had worked with her, and like it was an honor to be in attendance for that.
Yeah, I think at that point we only had talked like a couple times.
Handful, if that.
But I heard a lot about you.
I feel like I would fail in this interview if I didn't let you get to talk about the story of you two, because I know you met here.
We did meet here. Actually, in the room right there. The shop is my first memory of interacting with her. I met her, but didn't actually meet her. But, I saw her and knew who she was prior to that due to, like, auditions and other stuff around the campus. But I came in to help, work on the set because there were shop hours. And at that point, I wasn't a shop worker. I had no investment. It was just, they said, hey, come in and help work on the set if you have time. And I was like, sure, I'll do that. I actually never got to do that in high school. Someone always just came in and built it for us. I didn't know that people can just go work on sets like that. So I was like, I'll come help. I want to be helpful. And we were getting, like, someone was pulling out paint supplies for us, and I was standing next to her, and I was like, I'm gonna make small talk. I don't know who this is. And she was wearing green Bishop Carroll sweatpants, just right up the side said Bishop Carroll. So I was like, well, that's a starting point. Hey, I presume you went to Bishop Carroll. What's your name? Walk away. That was our first interaction. That dead eye, and I was like, okay, don't talk to her. Got it. I'll go socialize with someone else.
I was really about to ask you, was it this like you were attracted to each other like the first meeting? But that answers that part.
Yeah, but I mean, we were both in different relationships at the time. Like, I was just trying to get to know people and make a friend. And I said, all right, different friend. But, I mean, after that point, I saw she was very talented. Like, I was like, wow, she's probably the most talented person I've ever worked with in my life. And I was like, it sucks that she's mean. I kind of just want to get to know her. And then, so it was at that cast party where, I tried again just to make conversation, and we ended up, I chatted with her and a couple other people for about an hour straight, just talking. And then, at that point, I'm the young kid. I feel a bit full of myself. I'm like, look at the attention I'm getting. But, we kept talking, and then a few months go by. We're both single. We're in some other, like, the next couple productions later, we're doing Winter's Tale with Mark, and Becca is supposed to be at rehearsal. She was called, and we're at start time. Mark's like, where is she? Like, she's not here. And he was like, you know what, I'll call her. And I was like, yeah, Mark, I can do it. I'll call her. I'll see where she is for you. So then I did, and who is this? Oh, it's Austin. We're in the show together. I just, Mark said he needed someone to reach out and see if he'll. I just got off of work. Like, I'm running a little late. I'm on my way. No problem. I just wanted to reach out and just for Mark, see if he'll get here. And then after that was kind of the point where the ball started to roll, and we'd start talking a little bit from there, and we got to where we are.
Yep.
So thank you, Mark, for letting me call her. He's in the back, thumbs up. We love him.
Yeah, and I mean, and the thing is, like, you two are just so supportive of each other. And, I know when it comes to, theater performances and getting things ready, I know there's sacrificing of time.
Absolutely.
I can only assume that because of the experience you all had here and she had here within theater, that the support that she gives you with all of this is on an astronomical level.
Yeah, and she still pops in here sometimes. If we're really tight, like, week of a production, all of this crap has to get painted still. I'm sorry, I'm not going to make it home tonight. Like, this is an all-nighter for me. All right, well, I'll meet you up there. I'll bring dinner. And she does what she can. Clearly, I don't expect her to come in at all. I'm not going to ask her to do that. I'm not going to ask her to sacrifice a free evening where she could, like, get downtime to relax, because she rarely gets that too. She's just as busy to come and work on a show with me. And so I'm very grateful that she's so supportive and willing to sacrifice that time to come up and help me.
I'm sure she's going to be super thrilled about what happens tonight after all these wings. Remember, he volunteered for this, Rebecca. We've made it to 8.
All right.
This is, if you I'm sure you can feel some of the spice, right?
Yeah,
like it's there. Strap in, buddy.
I heard this is the one. Multiple people told me this is the one.
This is the one.
This is the downhill slide.
You were like, 10, I'll be in a different world by 10. You'll be in a different world by now. This is the bomb evolution.
Well, there it is, right there. That's
it is.
The name.
So we went from 104,000 Scoville units.
Okay.
We're at 135.6.
Okay, we're jumping.
We're jumping, not close to what we're about to jump. You're gonna feel this. This is the sauce that when you see the ones on YouTube of the celebrities with all the crazy reactions.
This is where the crazy reactions come from.
This is it.
Right? I just saw flash images of all the celebrities that I've watched on this show. So this is the one.
Here you go.
Oh, that smells atrocious.
Dude, I've taken a bite. Let's go.
I'm sorry. This reminds me of that Carolina Reaper sauce that I was telling you about.
I'm over here in the foxhole by myself.
There's no flavor at the front. Oh, it's creeping. It's crawling up. That is no flavor. It's just gross, a little hot to be hot.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, you're having a better reaction than most people.
Honestly, it's just there it is.
There it is.
It's in my throat. You can hear it in my voice. It's right there in my throat right now. This is what's that hot wing at? What's the hottest wing at Buffalo Wild Wings? What are
the blazing sauce?
The blazing one. This is about on par with that. It's not quite as bad. Ooh, it's on the tongue. All right, guys, it might be as bad. I might crack my lemonade now.
All right, well, I talked about you being nominated for Homecoming King. You actually became Homecoming King. You were crowned.
And Liz Reservoir was queen next to me.
Correct. And you said at that, like, you were not opposed to working at Newman after you graduated. Now that you're here.
Did I say that then?
Mm-hmm.
You're quoting me.
Yeah. I loved in your quote that you were like, yeah, I'm not opposed to it.
Dropping hints.
Now that you're here, what has the experience been like working in the department that you are so passionate about as a student?
Gosh, it sits right on the tongue. Everything else is fine. My throat's cleared up again, but that's lingering. I started doing a lot of the stuff that I'm already doing now as a student. Some shows I was kind of the pseudo TD already, but I mean, then it was mainly building. I didn't design anything. Dracula was sure a roller coaster. Really, Mark and I both did more than we thought on that one. On opening opening night of the show, I was putting a whole wall up, a 12-foot wall going up, and that wall had to pivot and rotate because it was for the crypt. What was the question? I kind of just tangented there.
What has the experience been for you now that you're here as an employee working in the space that you're passionate about?
Gotcha. Oh, man. A little bit in the throat. Okay. What I really enjoy about being here is because when I reflect on my experience, welcoming environment, being engaged by those above me, encouragement, and it goes beyond theater and have the connections with the students in theater and fostering a good environment and a support team for them. And that's really my favorite thing about being here. Like, yeah, I love getting to do the theater. I love putting the shows together. I love watching them and how fantastic all of these performers are. But I really love being able to gauge and have a relationship with these individuals and trying to, support them and encourage them to go out and the different things they pursue and what they want to do. But I forgot where I was going after that.
All right, so we're getting into number 9. This is where we jump up to 690,000 Scoville units.
Okay.
So we went 135.6 to 690,000.
This is red.
This is called Torchbearer sauces. The sauce is called Sucker Punch.
Let's feel it. Oh, there's a lot of sauce on that bite I just got.
Thanks a lot, Luke.
Whoa. Something is happening. This doesn't feel like what spice normally feels like. It feels like my tongue is disappearing from my mouth.
All right, so we're going to jump into this question.
Do it.
Far outside of Newman, you have a podcast called The World Needs a Little Talk.
Yes.
You do it in conjunction with Dr. Matthew Umbarger.
Yes.
What convinces you to say, hey, I want to do a podcast? And why is what you're doing on that? Because I know, like, in your description of it, it talks about, includes religious allegory, cinematic revelations, things like that. What causes you to sit there and say, this is what we want to talk about?
It actually started because my final semester as a Newman student, I needed a credit for British literature to get my English major. And I was like, well, actually, I want to work with Dr. Umbarger again. So can we do an independent study? And Susan Crane, who was advising me, was like, if he says yes, we can waive it to count. So then I went banging on his door, said, I have a wild idea. Let's do a podcast. We'll read British literature stories and talk about it on the show. And to throw a spin on it, make it have something to do with you, since you're not even an English teacher, it can be apocalyptic oriented. And we'll look at apocalypse stories. So that's what we did for even after I graduated for about 8 months. And then we fell out. So then, starting this last fall, we touched base, we wanted to make the show happen, and we wanted to actually full gun-ho do it. So The World Leads a Little Talk is a similar premise. That's what the original show was called. I've rebranded it as Apocalypse How. And this show, it's just any story, let's look at it, and let's break it down. So anything that we're both interested in, something that's in the pop culture geist at the moment. My lips are on fire. We take a look at that and, just talk about it, break it down, and kind of just wherever the conversation goes. So those zinger words are just like, sometimes we do this, that, and boom. This will pull in people, and we'll get going. I'm actually on another podcast as well. Do you know that?
I
Did you
do
know that?
not.
I'm on a I'm on a podcast called The Floating Tavern. It's an actual
Oh,
play
I do know
D&D
that.
podcast
I do know that.
made by another alum, Matthew Clark. So I'm not in every episode, but it's a rotating cast, so I feature in it frequently. Go check it out. It's also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I didn't even say that about mine. They're both there. Find us. Listen to us. Please.
Well, here's a fun little fact for you. Dr. Umbarger has said to me that he's like, I think doing this would be fun. I'll do the chicken wing video.
He told me today that he would.
What advice do you have for him getting into this?
Come in excited. It doesn't get bad until number 8. You're going to do great. I don't know how you handle spicy food, but you seem like a guy that could really take on spicy food. Plus, your beard's going to keep it from getting all around your mouth, so that's fantastic for you. Lean into that. Use it as a catch or something. And as well, ask for 2 drinks. This lemonade actually does a good job at breaking down the spice levels, but it does jump back after a little bit. I think that's hindered me a little bit because I think it's gone and it comes around the corner with a rearing head of malbolgia. So pick 2 drinks. I'm guessing if you're a milk guy, go that for the second. But this acidicness is actually a good thinking. Good luck to you, sir.
Okay. We're at the mountaintop, sir.
Oh, this is 10?
This is 10.
Guys, it flew by. I'm fine now.
It flew by. He's fine.
We're good to go. Spice is gone. This is
the Last Hot Ones brand. It's called the Last Dab Experience. 2,693 Scoville units, sir. 693,000 Scoville units.
Who? Am I supposed to be scared? Cheers. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Last one. Climb to the mountaintop. That's awful. That is disgusting. Holy cow. And now we're out of napkins. Jesus bless us, please, today. This is revolting. It's not even the spices hit me yet. It's just disgusting on the palate. If I were Gordon Ramsay, I would take these 2 plates and make an idiot sandwich out of this guy.
Okay, some would tell you that, I'm going to tell you, this is the last question. I say it's the easiest one. But a lot of people are like, oh, of course, the most philosophical question for last. What kind of footprint do you hope to leave here at Newman? And what do you hope people take away from you?
At Newman, I don't need my name to be remembered. I don't need it to be recognized anywhere. I just want to know that when I am done here, whatever that may be, that there is an actual difference that has been left behind that will continue to affect and change the students' lives that continue to come and thrive at the place that I thrived. Well, I got through that with... What was the part 2 of the question? I locked in for 1.
Oh, what do you want people to take away from you?
There's a tear forming in my eye right now. This left side. You probably can't see it, but it's there. What I want people to take away from me, the spice in my mouth right now would be great if they could just grab it and pull it. Oh, man. That first one I got through. This one's a little... Listen, I want you to take away from me guys, I'm gonna get to you. I swear. Let me get one more sip. All things considered, I thought this would be worse. I know I'm suffering, but this I did think I'd suffer a little bit more. I'm sorry. I'm all talk. One more sip and take this away from me. It might be rambled, but just if you listen real deep, you'll connect what I'm trying to say. And this is nothing to do with me as an individual. It's life. Continue to spend each day loving everyone as if you already loved them. Okay? Strangers, enemies, even the people you dislike, the one thing that we can do to make the world a better place is to continue to give love on to one and all. I'm not crying because of what I just said, even though I think it might have been very poignant. I don't even know why I'm crying. I think it's just the spices have taken over at this point.
With that being said, Tech Director Austin Schwartz made it to the top of the mountain. It's been a great time getting to talk with him. I hope you got a lot from him. We have more guests coming in the 2026 year. Please enjoy your holiday, enjoy your Christmas, and we will see you all next time. Peace and chicken grease.